Find the mean of the following data in response to how many hours of TV watched per day. So we see in this data we have two columns, right? So in the first column is the number of hours per day. And in this column we see the frequency, right? The frequency means how many times or how many people responded, right? So how can we better explain this? Okay, well, 7 people, right? So 7 different people said they watched an average of 1 hour of TV per day. Okay, 6 people responded, I watch an average of 2 hours of TV per day. Okay, so the count or frequency means how many, right? So this here is the bottom number. This is the total. Okay, so we can imagine 32 people were asked this question, and this is how many said they watched 1 hour. This is how many people said they watched 2 hours, so on and so forth, right? So how do we find the mean then? Okay, I got to be careful with this, right? Because how many ones are there, right? There's 7 of them. So essentially, what can we say? We can do it this way, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, because there's 7 of them, right? 7 different people said, I watch average of 1 hour. And then we can add 2, right? 6 times. And then we can add 3 11 times, and as you can see already, right, this is going to get pretty tedious, right? Essentially there's 32 different values that we're going to have to add up. And then once we do that, right, we're going to have to divide this whole thing by 32 because there's 32 data values here. And now, I mean, if you had the time, right, and you wanted to do it this way, you could. Okay? But is there a different way to do this? Okay, and the answer is yes, right? Remember, this just tells you how many. Okay, so we can actually do it this way, right? 1 times 7, because there's 7 people who responded they watched 1 hour, and 2 times 6, and then plus 3 times 11, plus 4 times 5, plus 5 times 13, right? And then we should be able to divide all of this by 32. Now it's still a little bit of work, okay, but it's a little bit cleaner, okay? And hopefully a little bit easier to work out here. Okay, so that should be at 5 times 3, right? Not 5 times 13. So let's go ahead, right? We'll multiply these out. 1 times 7 is just 7. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 11 is 33. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 3 is 15. And we'll divide all of that by 32, right? So this total here, we get 87. And when we divide that by 32, we get 2.72. So what does it mean? It means that out of these 32 people who were surveyed, okay, out of these 32 people, okay, the average number of hours of TV watched per day is 2.72.